What is your overall strategy for building queer-friendly housing for the elderly within District 5 and throughout the city? Do you have older queer friends who face housing insecurity? Explain.
Well, before being appointed to the Board of Supervisors, I worked at Senior Action Network. I worked for a program at Senior Action Network called SHAC, Senior Housing Action Collaborative. What we did was counsel seniors, mostly around housing issues, many who were facing Ellis Act evictions and the like. I think we have to have a holistic approach. Part of it, as I mentioned earlier, has to include Ellis Act reform. I believe that Assembly Member Tom Amiano has been contemplating this for some time, so I hope to work with his office and Quentin Mecchi to see some of those reforms passed. When 55 Laguna first came to us, I was a planning commissioner. I worked hard on that project. When the open house project was first proposed at 55 Laguna, it was not proposed as a low-income housing project for seniors, contrary to what people have since, contrary to where we are now with the issue. It was me, Ross Mercarini, Brian Bassinger, Tommy Avicoli-Mecca, who sat there and debated with the Open House Board to make sure that they came around and supported 0 to 60 AMI housing for seniors at the Open House site at 55 Laguna. So I do believe that the former District 5 supervisor also deserves some credit for that. At Senior Action Network, we worked on a project that looked at quality of life for seniors who lived in single-room occupancy hotels. Those findings are coming up and legislation will follow.
I think a lot of the issues that apply to LGBTQ apply to other elders in San Francisco. We have an aging population. People think that that's not the case, but we do, especially in District 5. And I agree, we need to strengthen rent control, not tear it away. I agree that we need to work in the SRO community and improve SROs. And a lot of seniors live in SROs and are on fixed incomes. I think there's a lot of things that we can improve. Again, improve the sidewalks, make it easier for elderly people to be more mobile. That includes all elderly people. Improving their standard of living, and we need to do all the things that we've been talking about as far as increasing affordable housing, and that's not supporting projects that don't increase the stock of housing and increase affordable housing for everybody, and that includes seniors. And also, I think we need more senior food programs, and I think how you treat your elders says a lot about you as a city. I read a statistic one time, and isolation is a big one. I read a statistic one time that the city in the country you're most likely to die by yourself is San Francisco, and that really made me sad. So I think, yeah, it did. It really, that's not what you want from your city, and so I think we have to talk about that.
So, two things. The supervisor of any district needs to work with the city for specific sites. So 55 Laguna right now is not an LGBT senior housing. It's an empty lot. It's a vacant building. There's nothing happening there. The supervisor needs to work with the city. We have another project at the Hayes Valley Farm site, which is going in. That's going to be market rate housing with non-union workers. The city gave that all away. It didn't even bother to say you have to have union workers. So, when these projects are proposed, the supervisor needs to be aware of them and step up and say, and make things happen. So that's what I would do. The other thing is about affordable housing in general. One problem is that developers, when we give away zoning variances and we just give them away, we say the height, oh yeah, you can have that. Shadows and parks, sure, you can have that. Parking, you can have that as well. We don't ask for anything in return. We don't demand that affordable housing be built on site, and we should. There should be housing in every project, affordable housing in every project. often we get these enclaves. We get these enclaves of rich people, and then the housing money sits in a fund somewhere, not building affordable housing. So that's part two.
Before you finish, you said, you know, people will say, we need to make things happen, and you agree with that. But that's great. As I said prior to this, I think optimism is fantastic. However, it gets very little done. I would like 2 sentences of some concrete objective, like what things would happen if you did them. What are they?
Making a project get built, making 55 Laguna get built, bringing people together in a room, setting up a series of meetings and saying, how are we going to get this built and when is it going to happen? At the Hayes Valley farm site, instead of getting people together and saying, how are we getting affordable housing in this site? How are we getting union construction workers on this site? I'm not taking no for an answer, so that's the short 2 sentences.
Thea, Shelby, is this okay? I am happy to say that actually we are getting people together at 55 Laguna, and I'm one of the people who is getting together at 55 Laguna, and the story I'll tell is a little bit of a story of strife. I wanted 55 Laguna desperately to be in District 5. I felt that it should be in District 5, and I fought really hard against Scott Wiener to make it be in District 5. And he said, we really need to have it in District 8 because there are 110 units of LGBT targeted senior housing. And I said, wonderful. But you know what? There are many, many gay people in District 5. I think we're number 2. I don't think we're number 1. There's Felicia out there. There's one. I think we're number 2. Not number 1. But my point here is that what we came to an agreement. I lost, by the way. It is in District 8. But we came to an agreement that whatever happened, we would in District 5 support obviously the 110 units of senior targeted housing, and he would support our concerns. And our concerns had to do with safety on the Haight Street side. It's a fortress over there. And we are working together right now to get it built. It's supposed to, groundbreaking is supposed to be happening in November. If anyone wants the silly pink bunny, come talk to me. Thank you.
Welcome, London Breed.